Hello and welcome to Sorta OK Reviews, where every fandom's welcome. I'm Nathan Bedard.
I'm Brad Newton.
And of course, it's time again for another One Piece chapter review, 917, The Treasure Ship of Provisions.
Yep, so this week we start off with the cover story again. It's still Bellamy, but he's making a flag, and it's called this unrippable cloth, so...
Yeah, we know that Bellamy has a thing for now designing pirate flags. Mm-hmm. And we know that he's kind of like part of the... He likes Straw Hat now.
He's not officially part of the Grand Fleet, but he's in the Grand Fleet cover story. So.
And, you know, at the end of Whole Cake Island, we did see that Straw Hat flag. So I wonder if...
It, like, ripped up. So we kind of think he's making a flag for Luffy now.
And if that's on it, maybe he's making a Grand Fleet flag that they can wave or something.
So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe they'll all just wave Luffy's flag. Who knows?
Maybe.
But maybe he's making a bunch of flags for the Grand Fleet now, which would be a cool, you know... thing, because, you know, obviously, as we said, Luffy lost his flag in the fight with Big Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's start this week's chapter. We're still in this this town where Hold'em is the leader. We start off seeing another kid drinking the river water, just like Otama. And he's like, do you have any of that, you know, that grass, you know, whatever, that tea that settles your stomach?
Oda's really trying to show off that, like, this is gonna be a big plot thing. Like, when the river gets cleaned, it's gonna be a big thing. And
you see the sludge just being poured into this river too. Mm-hmm. Looks gross. But okay, and then we go from that to apparently like the Paradise Farms, I guess.
Paradise Farms, or
it's where all the food comes from. But we see this, like, beautiful, like, you know, waterfalls and, like, you know, lots of cattle, bulls, all kinds of stuff. And you see all this delicious food and hay and barrels. Just looks freaking delicious.
Pretty much like, you know, in the States, like, oh, you got the poor, you got the rich.
Mm-hmm. So, and then there's this guy trying to buy the silver. He's like, I got 5 silver. And they're like, we don't want your pitiful, you know, that little money.
That's
like,
nothing. Give me 500.
Mm-hmm. Then we're introduced to a new character.
Yeah, this is confusing. Like, I'm so confused by this. I think her name's Speed.
She's a smile user. She's a horse smile user. She's
a headliner. She's a girl. She's half human, half horse. She's like kind of cute, but also it's like weird because it's like
she's a horse.
You know, but then you look behind, and she's a horse. And she has those ears, and
she kind of like the ears look like a cow though too. So I don't know.
Yeah, and she could apparently see 350,
which is actually
degrees.
True of horses, I guess. So they can't really see directly in front of them and directly behind them, but since their eyes are kind of on the side of their head, they do have like a 350 able to see, which is kind of cool.
The more that you know.
Yeah. Apparently, Oda knows his stuff, and then we see her smile like a horse too.
Yeah, that's not good.
So Speed. All the Beast Pirates, the Smile Users, have very simple names.
Mm-hmm. Speed. Kind of like Dragon Ball. Frieza, Cooler, you know, King Cold.
So, and then we go back. They're like, oh yeah, Hold'em's house is on fire because Hiroshima got blasted through half the city by Luffy.
Yeah.
In last chapter. So she's like, hurry up and put out the fire. And then, so we see, like, kind of her personality quirk is, like, she's all happy and go-lucky, then all of a sudden she turns around and yells at everybody.
Just kind of like, the, you know, the outburst, maybe.
Yeah. And then they're like, what's, you know, path of destruction? It's coming from over there. We cut back, Otama's still in the lion's mouth, and then she's crying out for Luffy, you know, to come save her, and the lion's like, I'm gonna rip her into pieces. You know, Zoro and Luffy are just standing there and like, this guy, really? Like, come on now.
We'll give him a couple more pages and then we'll continue the plot.
So he's like, let Tama go. It's like, I'll beat up all you if you don't let her go. She's still crying, back to her crying again. It's like, they kidnapped Tama for her abilities
to and control the beasts and stuff like that.
So she's like, and then Hold'em mentions like I can't pronounce whatever the freaking word this is, but these group of thieves that he thinks that Luffy's a part of. So I assume these guys will come back later at a later plot point.
I almost guarantee it.
Yeah. So we're gonna figure out who these. It's probably some sort of resistance that doesn't like Kaido and will probably join Luffy's cause. And then so he's like, we have Okiku. She's like, yeah, don't make him angry. Don't make him angry.
Yeah, like, don't make him angry, pretty much, for a certain reason.
And then she explained, she's like, even if you could beat him, it's like the people in this town all live in fear of this guy. And then we learn that it's Jack. That it's like Jack's in charge of this wasteland of an area.
Yeah, and we all know that Jack's not a nice dude. Like, he's pretty fierce. So even for Luffy, like...
And he's no one to be traveled with, too. He's got a billion-berry bounty.
Yeah, but I do feel like Luffy and Zoro could take him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like they teamed up together, they could take Jack.
I don't think it'd be like an easy fight by
No,
any means.
God,
but,
no.
Like, they'd probably be weak afterwards, too, and they still have 2 more calamities and Kaido to face after him, but I still think they can both take him.
I also like how Luffy, when he's picturing, like, Jack getting taken out by Zoe, it's just a little bubble and it's just a little elephant. He's just like, boop.
Boop. Yeah. It's like, oh, so you saw, Jack's accident, like, his incident at sea. They're like, well, he was seen here a few days ago, so apparently Jack's, somebody went and got Jack after he got destroyed by Zoe.
Makes sense. I mean, Kaido was probably like, go get him immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Probably has, like, a fishman or somebody on his crew that could do that.
After they're done, explaining that plot point, Hold'em's like, hey guys, I'm still here. I'm about to kill this girl still.
He's like, guys, come on.
I mean, Jack's not here yet. I'm still the bad guy right now.
I only get a couple chapters, damn it.
So he's like, I'm gonna rip her to pieces. And then Luffy finds like, alright, your bastard, pretty much stop.
Like, stop, dude. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, you have no hope. And he's like, you destroyed my home. I'm gonna make you suffer, pretty much. And now Speed just pops up out of nowhere and is like, what's up? And she's eating an apple. She's like, what's going on here? Your house was on fire. I got all this food behind me.
Yeah, like, it's kind of like an ice cream truck thing. And it's like, hey, we bring around, like, the good food, like, and, like, you have to pay for it, which is still, like, a crappy thing to do. It's like, oh, hey, we have the nice food and healthy food, but you gotta pay really overpriced things to get it.
Mm-hmm. They have a monopoly on the food. And then Luffy sees that food. He's like, "I want that food."
Yeah, it's kind of like a shitty Sam's Club membership.
Yeah, and then and then Okiku kind of explains that, oh yeah, that's the provision farm, and then they get good food. And Luffy got pissed. Like, when it comes to food, Luffy just gets pissed. Like, he's like, why not share the food with everybody? So that just makes Luffy more mad than anything. So he's like, Zoro, you get the food, I'm gonna go rescue Otama.
Which is kind of funny. You think he'd be like, I'll get the food, you get Otama.
But he's like, we're gonna have to seal and run this. Like, they're apologizing to her. Like, you just said not to make them any more mad, but we're about to do exactly what you just told us not to.
It's like, I get your plan, but our plan's better.
Yeah. So Hawkins is trying to get there to stop all this from happening. He's like, Hold'em isn't answering his phone, and then he's stopped by somebody, and we know who that is just by a sword.
Oh my gosh, this look for Law looks so cool. He has, like, the thing over his head.
Like like a straw basket.
I need Banpresto or Mega House to make this a statue. I want it now.
It is based off of I don't know the specifics, but it is based off of Japanese culture.
Oh yeah, it is. I remember seeing it in Ninja Batman too.
Yeah, so it is like a Japanese culture thing. So yeah, Law looks really cool and dressed like this. So he's like, Law mentions, he's like, it's a good thing that no one knows who we are here of all, like, the stuff we've been doing. Because the whole world is kind of after us right now. But since Wano has, his borders closed to everybody, no one knows who we are.
And I think we both think that, at least I do think that, I don't think they're going to fight. I think this is where, like, I
kind of want to see them fight a little bit. I don't want to see them, like, go all out against each other, but I want to see, because I think it's cool, the Devil Fruit powers.
Yeah.
Fighting each other, like Law's space versus Hawkins, like, just, his voodoo doll puppets coming out.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, but I don't know. I just feel like this is where the alliances are going to start secretly happening.
But yeah, Law mentions, he's like, Hawkins is one of the few people who knows who we are, because he's a supernova too, so it's like, we need to get rid of him. So, he's like, all the people are pretty much going to be held hostage from Jack. So they're all afraid of Jack, because Hold'em's like, yeah, this is going to happen if you don't listen to us. And then they capture Okiku. They grab her. And he's like, yeah, take them all. And then Zoro and Luffy are like, okay, it's our time. We get the whoosh sound. So they both use that shave technique. And then we see all of a sudden Luffy was confident enough to punch this lion in the face. He's fast enough to punch him. Otama goes flying. Before she hits the ground, Luffy is able to catch her.
This line looks more effed up than when Scar pushed it.
When Lion King reference, yes. But we get, Luffy's got Otama, he's taking her, he's like, when did he do this? Like, I didn't even see him do it. It's like, what's the matter with you, Lion?
Yeah, it just shows you, like Luffy and Zoro are pretty quick. But they did say, I think they said that in, like, or something, Sanji's the fastest, I think? Technically.
I don't know. I know Sanji can fly, though. That's his big advantage over everybody. So he's like, what are you doing to his lion? And then all of a sudden, the other side, Zoro just slashed everybody.
And Gato, Kiku.
And I like how Speed, like, her name's Speed, and then Zoro went over here and slashed everybody, and she's just like, huh? What happened?
Yeah, like, her thing's gonna be like, she realizes things slow, probably.
Yeah. And then, Okiku's already, the lion is already on, Zoro just, calls him dog. He's like, come on, dog.
Wolf.
So the dog's got the food and the wagon, and he's carrying it away. And then Okiku's riding the lion dog thing, and he's like, go run, take the food. So they're probably going to go give it to everybody now. And now, Luffy's like, what happened to your cheek, Otama? Because Otama's cheek's all messed up. And he's like, oh yeah, he got like pliers and was trying to get the food out of my cheek, but he can't do it, only I can. But she's like, it's okay. And Luffy's like, that dude was essentially torturing you.
He's
this
like,
little girl.
Like, he's pissed.
So he's like, so Hold'em's like, yeah, this is going to be my final attack. He's like, I'm about to destroy Luffy, this line fire.
Like, you're thinking, oh, okay, could he stand a fight? Is this going to be a fight? Nope.
Red Hawk.
Hold him up.
It's like the same panel again of St. Charlos getting punched. So Oda must really like just drawing this panel, because we just saw it in the Reverie arc too.
And I don't know if it's because like Hold'em like breathes fire like through his mouth to the lion, or if the Red Hawk's fire is going from his cheek through his mouth, which is so cool if it is.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was him spitting fire or if it was from the Red Hawk, but either way, it's a really cool, nicely drawn panel of him just getting destroyed. Luffy apparently is a fan of One Punch Man, and this was like
he watched the first season. And he's like, this gets the job done better.
Yeah, so he's like, that's what I'm gonna do from now on. Apparently, at least in this town. So we get, he's absolutely gets destroyed. So like, and he actually saw it coming too. He's like, watch this power of my chasing sword. So apparently his sword had a power too. So I don't know if we're going to get to see that. Maybe the sword will work independently of him. I don't know. Maybe. But he makes a big point about his sword too.
It does add to the fact that, I mean, even though he did get one shot maybe by Luffy, maybe, we'll find out next chapter. But, I mean, Chopper is not the strongest guy either. So, like, he's not the strongest in the world. So maybe it definitely does add to the more theory that he will probably fight Chopper at some point.
Well, it wasn't him who said he liked raccoon dog meat. It was the sumo wrestler.
Oh, that's right. It's a sumo wrestler. So maybe he'll fight like.
I don't know. I think he's done. I think this was his. Done? Yeah, I think this was his panel of being done. He might like be like one of the people, like how Big Mom had like an army chasing after. He might be in that later, but he's not. I don't think he's going to get an individual Straw Hat fight. So anyway, we see Luffy was enraged, and that's how the chapter ends. Him getting one punched.
Yeah, it was a good chapter. I'm glad we're like that. I'm glad there's no break next week. That's a plus. I want to start getting into some of these battles. Maybe start meeting more of Kaido's crew.
The most interesting thing happening to me right now is the Hawkins Law thing.
The Hawkins, yeah, because that could lead to something big. Is
Hawkins going to be a foe to Luffy, or is he going to join up with Luffy?
Join up with them, yep. But it was an all-around fun chapter. We enjoyed it. Glad there's no break. That definitely helps it. But
that's going to do it for this week. If you would, please hit that subscribe button over there and check out one of our other videos right here.
Alright, that's it. We really appreciate you watching our video. Thank you very much, and have a good day.